Oh, good morning. Good morning. I'm probably in better fettle this morning than Manchester United's scouting department. Let's
Yes,
just say that.
I think most of us might be.
Oh,
Okay, what can you tell us? Rabiot latest, what's going on there?
Well, as Adrian said there, doesn't look like it is happening. We know that his mum and agent is notoriously a tough negotiator because his contract is coming to an end. Juventus at the end of the season, I believe he was asking for parity with Manchester United's top earners. They believe that was too rich. They walked away from the deal despite agreeing a fee with Juventus. But where's the due diligence on this? Because let's talk about how transfers in 2022 usually happen. Usually, a club would go to a player's advisors and sound them out in terms of interest. They would get a rough idea of exactly what they would be demanding in terms of contract length, in terms of wages, and whether or not they wanted to make the move. Then, once they've ascertained that it's doable, they would make a bid to the club. That part of it really is a formality. I know maybe in Ali's playing days, perhaps things happened a little bit in reverse, but that is how most clubs do their business now. So the fact Manchester United have got this far down the line and then walked away from the deal, I think again is an utter shambles. The De Jong situation is a mess. The fact they're now taking this scattergun approach and just chucking darts around at various players. I'm surprised, Laura, you've not had the call yet to see if you want to move to Old Trafford this transfer window.
I haven't checked my voicemails this morning.
And then you get Elon Musk, the world's richest man, mocking the club overnight. Other clubs in the Premier League are laughing at Manchester United, this once great institution. It is an absolute car crash, and this transfer window has been nothing short of a disgrace.
Crookie, we heard a wonderful, I really enjoyed it, heated discussion, for want of a better description, between Gary Neville and Jamie Redknapp. I think it was at the weekend, discussing who effectively was to blame for what is a bit of a shambles, as you correctly say, at Manchester United. Who is to blame? Is it a combination? Were they both correct?
Yeah, I think they were, to be honest, and I enjoyed that debate as well.
Yeah.
The owners have run the club into the ground. If you look at the financial situation, the money they've not put in, the money they've taken out, they've got a lot to answer for. The recruiting department, the fact they have paid top dollar for players who just aren't up to the task, and then the players in the dressing room. But I think the reason they've been allowed to down tools is because there's no consequence for bad performances. Take Harry Maguire, for example. Whatever you think about him in an England shirt, and I don't think he's let England down, rather. I think it's harsh when he gets booed on international duty. But he has been underperforming, at least since the start of last season, if not longer, for Manchester United. Erik Ten Hag comes in, he's supposed to be this hard school manager who's going to make the big decisions. Well, he could have put a marker down straight away and taken the captain's armband away from Maguire and said, look, on performances, you're not guaranteed to be in my 11. I can't possibly give you the captain's armband. He didn't do that. You've got David De Gea, who can't play the type of football that Ten Hag wants to play, passing out from the back. He doesn't have that capability. So he should have replaced him. Maybe they should have kept Dean Henderson, who obviously gave that incredible interview to talkSPORT. They get rolled over by Brighton. A really poor opening day performance, yet 10 of the 11 start the second game of the season. Fred and McTominay are not a midfield fit for purpose in the modern game. That's the worst midfield of any top European club, yet they play more often than not. So it doesn't matter how badly you perform, you still get picked every week and you still pick up your wages. And there's nobody asking questions of these players because the club is rudderless from top to bottom.
Alex, in the interest of your own health, I'm moving away from Manchester United now, okay? There's a story that came out this morning, mate, which I'm laughing, but actually saddened me in many ways regarding Dele Alli. What can you tell us? I mean, I was just saying, it seems like yesterday, Russian World Cup, fantastic, him and Lingard, and now there's rumours, obviously, that Everton are willing to let him go and head off to Turkey.
Yeah, I think it's all true. I think there is interest from Turkey. Whether Dele Alli is willing to make that move, I think will be interesting. But I think you've used the right word. It is sad because he was a key part of that England team that went to the World Cup semi-final, and the way that his career has fallen since then is upsetting. And I think it's a warning for any young player that if you start to believe that you've made it, that could come back and bite you in the backside. I was a bit sceptical when he joined Everton. I didn't see that as a positive step for them just because of the the way he was underperforming at Tottenham. I think you saw actually in the Amazon documentary that Jose Mourinho was tearing his hair out because he knows there's a player there.
Yeah.
But it was a player who, for one reason or another, just wasn't performing as we know he can. And I think if he goes off to Turkey, that's almost an admission that his Premier League is over. I'd actually like to see Dele Alli reject this move and show a bit of fight and show that he still believes he can play at the top level. But you have to say, based on performances in the last 2.5 years, that looks a long way off.
I was just wondering because I read the article, the Mail are reporting it, lots of different places are reporting it, actually saying that the Turkish club, Besiktas, they're eager to get it done by the end of the week, so that could be him gone. I just wondered whether or not, if it's not the Premier League for him, why not a different league? Why this league? You know, surely maybe Italy or something like that, or cricket, or even, me and Ali were talking earlier on, why don't you go and try and do it with the Rangers or a Celtic or someone where if you make it work there and the standard is a little bit lower, you might be able to get your confidence back, you might become a hero, you might start enjoying football again.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, I think his wage demands would probably be too rich for those Scottish clubs and probably clubs in other leagues even, because we know the Premier League still are the top payers when it comes to wages.
But can he demand those wages now?
Well, is he going to take a pay cut? You know, he's got a contract at Everton. This is a problem. And it was a problem when Everton took him off Tottenham's hands, that they were gambling on almost reputation and the fact that he could get back to his very best. That hasn't happened, but it's very rare that a player would take a pay cut. I think if he was to go out on loan, Everton would have to pay a significant percentage of his wages. And in terms of other offers, I'm not sure they're going to be queuing up for Dele Alli based on the Dele Alli that we've seen at Everton and that we saw at Tottenham in the latter part of his career there.
It's a real shame. Crookie, thanks for coming on, mate. Take care.
Thanks, mate. Hope you're okay.
See you soon. That's Alex Crook, our transfer.
Isn't that so? It's just so disappointing, depressing. It really is.
I know.
What a talent.
I think most people, a lot of people, are willing him to get back to his best, and he's just had lots of different chances, lots of different managers now, and it doesn't seem to be something that he's going to kick on and do. Could we see him in a Besiktas shirt by the end of the week? We will see. That's Dele Alli linked with that move to the Turkish side, so we'll keep updated as much as we can.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.